What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of 30NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Xbox badly needs a Fallout game before 2054 for Fallout 5. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. We're going to talk about Fallout London dev comments on the Fallout 4 next-gen update and says they felt blindsided. We're going to talk about Embracer Group is splitting into three separate companies. And then we're also going to talk about the MetaQuest. Zuckerberg came out yesterday talking about how they're separating the different MetaQuests into different niche categories of a headset. So an Xbox VR headset is on the way, but it's limited edition for MetaQuest. So we do this Monday through Thursday. We cover news stories Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like this type of stuff, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. On this channel, we do uploads, live streams, gameplay, podcasts, shorts, lots of different content on here. And we're consistently here Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock till noon Eastern for the live show. So, good morning. What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Eclipse, L, Water, Roadkill, Gilly Ghost, Robert Jones? Who did I miss? Argus, what's going on? Good morning, First Loser. Good morning. Let me see what you guys are saying. L says, so now Xbox dudes are into VR? Why does it have to be Xbox dudes? Why can't gamers that own an Xbox, which technically they don't even have to own an Xbox, why does it have to be gamers that just buy a VR headset can now play Xbox games on VR? I've been doing it for 8 months. I've said this for a while now. My favorite part of owning that Quest is that when I travel and go places, I take the headset with me and I get to play my Xbox games without bringing my Xbox. And I don't have to play on a small screen. I literally put the headset on and hook up my controller, and I can play Xbox anywhere. It's fantastic. So if they could do that for other systems, awesome, right? Like, I don't bring the Xbox, but I have the MetaQuest, and then I can play the Xbox games on it. I can also play my Steam games on there as well. And I can play the virtual, like, in-game for the MetaQuest games on that as well. VR is always a niche. I have a friend that swears by it, but I can't see what he sees in it. Big screen. That's what he sees. What's going on, everybody? Smash that like button. That's right, Roadkill. Hit that like button. Helps us out here. Make sure you hit that like button. Water says, I'm glad I got back into Final Fantasy 14. Loving it. I can't get into it. I'm stuck right now in Fallout 76. There's always something to do in Fallout 76 right now for me. I'm either trying to look for some certain plans, working on my base, doing the story, doing the dailies, doing the weeklies. There's always something for me to do. Let's see. Yeah, I watched some stuff with Stellar Blade. It does look a little clunky for the fighting, but at the same time, it looks good. If that's the game for you, awesome. Hope you have a fantastic time with it. Good morning, Alien. How are you? More of a single-player MMO mixed with the multiplayer. It just works somehow. Oh, you're talking about Final Fantasy. Yeah. Xbox dudes are copying PlayStation dudes, but they're really not. They're really not. Xbox dudes are not copying PlayStation dudes because you don't have to buy a Xbox to use the VR headset. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's MetaQuest, and all you need is Game Pass, and you can play your games. We'll go over the conversation and the topic in a second. Will it cost the same as Meta? I don't know. Travis says, DC Universe Online and Final Fantasy 14 are the only MMOs I played on a regular basis. Way better than the PlayStation VR 2. I mean, until the PSVR 2 can play the PC games, I would say you're 100% correct, Ghost. Right? Until that PlayStation VR 2 can start playing PC games, then I would say MetaQuest is 100% better because not only can you play the MetaQuest games, you can play Steam games. If you have a virtual PC, you can also play Xbox on your headset, where PlayStation VR 2 is only PlayStation games as of right now. Roadkill says, yeah, I bought the, I'm assuming that's supposed to be MetaQuest 3 by like 6 months ago and probably used it maybe 4 hours in total, maybe. Yeah, I'll probably get the Final Fantasy after the expansion gets released. I'm not going to get it day one. New expansion day one. Couldn't play it for a week. I'm just going to stick with the MetaQuest 30. It can do it all. Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox. And that's what I'm saying. We talked about this in the past, Water. Right? What would you rather have? A headset that can do everything or a headset that you need to buy that system? This is why I said Xbox shouldn't make a VR headset. Hence why I say Xbox shouldn't make a handheld device either. All right, let's talk about the MetaQuest since that's what we're talking about, right? The flexibility of my show. Chat's talking about it, so let's talk. What's going on, Kylo? Actually, before we watch this, let's watch this. Oh, 1 second. Let me bring the Zuckerberg up here.
Headsets, and we are part. All right, some updates on the metaverse today. We are releasing Meta Horizon OS, our operating system.
It's nice that he brushed his hair before he went on camera. And can someone tell him they make microphones that you don't have to hold?
System that powers Quest virtual and mixed reality headsets, and we are partnering with some of the best hardware companies out there to design new headsets that are optimized for.
It's amazing that a billionaire can't get a microphone that that can't get a microphone to make a video. Can someone please get this man a video camera and a microphone so he doesn't have to hold it? For God's sakes. This man's gonna change the world, but he's holding a lavalier microphone that has a clip that you can clip onto your shirt.
All the different ways that people use this tech. But now we're also working with Lenovo, Asus ROG, Xbox, and more to build headsets that are going to be designed for specific use cases. So you can imagine a lightweight headset that pairs.
He looks like a hobo. I look like a hobo.
With your computer on your desk to provide the best work experience, whether you're at home or anywhere else you go. Or you can imagine one that's fully focused on watching immersive entertainment like movies and videos with the highest resolution OLED screens. Or think of one that's fully optimized for gaming with support for all kinds of different peripherals and haptics. You can imagine one that's designed for exercise, that's extra light with sweat-wicking materials. Or maybe just a version that comes out of the box with Xbox controllers and a Game Pass so that you can immediately just start playing on a big screen anywhere you go.
Now, who said this before? Amazing, right? What I want to know is that are each of these headsets the exact same price? Does the headset that you're just doing to work out, is that still going to cost $400? Is the gaming one going to cost $400? Is this other one cost $400? Because it's like, why can't I just have one headset that does it all? Why do I have a niche headset? We'll talk about this a little in a second.
So our goal is to make it so that the open model defines the next generation of computing, again, with the metaverse, glasses, and headsets. So that's why we're releasing our operating system so that more companies can build different things on it.
All right. So based on that, right, like I think it's interesting that he is talking about how niche stuff, like let's just make a gaming headset, and the gaming headset for high quality games, or maybe you just want to, like, the gaming is high quality gaming, meaning any console, any type of thing. He's talking about specifically an Xbox headset that can play Xbox Game Pass with a controller and Game Pass. This is exactly what I've said in the past about Microsoft. This is what they're going to do. They're just going to give you Game Pass and a controller, and you would pay a little bit more. But now, obviously, they're partnering up with MetaQuest to do something. But I don't know about the workout one or the work environment one. Like, if you're going to make that the exact same price that you're working on now, if they could bring those headsets down, now, if you can get the MetaQuest with a controller with Game Pass for like $200, that would sell. That would sell. Okay, so let's go to the article. Okay. An Xbox VR headset is on the way, but is limited edition MetaQuest. Microsoft and Meta VR partnership expand to Xbox brand headsets. Now, before I even read the article, I've said this in the past. I said it's stupid because we talked about VR headsets, right? And now we know that PlayStation's making a headset the headset that they've already made for PlayStation, where it can work with PC. I said, this is going to be a niche market. They've made a niche of a niche because you have to have a PlayStation. I said, it's stupid if Xbox or Microsoft makes a headset because they're going to fall in the exact same category where you have to have the Xbox to play. I said, just partner up with people that already make the headsets, and voila, they've done it. I've been playing on my headset that Akuta Papa gave me since August last year. And I did virtual PC desktop to play through the Xbox on Game Pass. But now in December, they came out with their own Game Pass app within the headset. It's my chosen way to play the game. I love it. When I'm not home, I just take the headset in a nice little carrying case that I got, take it with me, take a controller, put the headset on, and I'm in my office or I'm in a movie theater and I'm just playing the game. And it's a great experience. Okay, especially if you're playing a single-player games and whatnot, right? And a good Wi-Fi network. So it's awesome, okay? That's exactly how it should be. You shouldn't be locked to where you, like, oh, I gotta take this. Like, you're just like, all right, I'm going on a train. Playing Xbox, right? It's amazing, Water. Okay, so it makes sense for Microsoft not to make a headset, but to partner up with someone that makes a headset. Same with the handheld devices. This is why I believe it's stupid if Microsoft makes a handheld device. So let's continue on here with the headset. It says Microsoft is teaming up with Meta to create a limited edition MetaQuest VR headset that's inspired by Xbox. While both Microsoft and Meta aren't share full details of the VR headset, it sounds like it's simply going to be skinned MetaQuest 3 or future unannounced version that comes bundled with Xbox controller. It says, quote, we're working together again with Microsoft to create a limited edition MetaQuest inspired by Xbox, says Meta in an announcement today. It's part of Meta opening up its operating systems that powers its Quest VR headset to third-party hardware makers. Asus and Lenovo are also creating a dedicated headset that runs the Meta Horizon OS. But the partnership with Microsoft sounds like it's simply a limited edition headset, much like how Microsoft creates limited edition Xbox consoles. In an Instagram post, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg says the version of the headset that is being teased today comes out of the box with Xbox controller and Game Pass, and you can immediately just start playing on the big screen anywhere you go. Now, Microsoft has mixed history with VR headsets in the Xbox side, which has also led the company to partnering up with Meta more closely recently. And the document leak in 2012 detailing Xbox's own plans showed that Microsoft was considering Kinect glasses, codenamed Project Fortaleza, and those that never came to life, which obviously was a smart choice, with the launch of the Xbox One console. But the Microsoft then created a more powerful Xbox One X version and was supposed to be a VR capable. Now, quote, we've architected in such that something would be able to be plugged right in and work, said Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer in 2016 about the VR support for Project Scorpio, the code name for Xbox One X. Now, the Xbox One X never had VR headset support, despite the company shipping it Xbox One controllers with the Oculus Rift. Now, after the demise of Microsoft failed Windows mixed reality efforts, the company eventually pivoted towards partnering with Meta more closely, and Quest owners can now use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, VR, Microsoft, and Meta also partnered to bring Xbox xCloud or cloud gaming to the Quest VR headset last year. Yeah, this just makes sense from a business standpoint. Why put all the research and development into a headset when you're not that company? There's companies that literally dedicate their whole entire life, like Facebook, who changed their name to Meta, which then, is putting all billions and billions of dollars in research and development into a headset to make the best experience of a VR headset. Where Microsoft, if they made a headset, they'd be just kind of half-ass it, put it out there and be like, oh, this is the greatest gaming experience you could ever get. And we all know that would be an absolute shit fest, right? But instead, they just partnered up with the people that are making the Meta, okay? And it's a much cheaper solution than creating your own headset. Now, obviously, it probably cost them a pretty penny to partner up with Meta because Meta's burning through money trying to make this headset work with the Meta itself inside the VR headset. But this is a smart decision by Microsoft, in my opinion, that instead of spending millions and billions of dollars or hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, that to make your own headset, you partner up with someone that actually works in the headset, and it's a simplistic thing. You just take the headset, you put it on, you start playing Xbox games anywhere on a 400-inch screen. Water in chat knows what I'm talking about, okay? It's a really interesting experience. Now, I totally get if you're a PlayStation player and you love your PSVR 2, the difference between what Xbox is doing and what PlayStation is doing, well, it's the same now because the PSVR 2 is trying to make you be able to play PC games on your headset when it was just a headset that only played the PlayStation games on the headset, which was a dumb move. But at the same time, they're changing their ways, and it's a smart move on PlayStation's part, and it's a smart move on Xbox or Microsoft's part to not make the headset and work with Meta to make this. I think this is a really cool gaming experience. I see that this is a better way to get, instead of marketing VR as VR, market these VR headsets where you can just put the headset on and make a larger TV screen and whatnot. I think that's a better way because a lot of people get motion sickness with the actual VR headset. But if you're in a small studio apartment, if you're in the city, in New York, in LA, in Chicago, and any other big cities around the world, you probably don't have a lot of space to put a giant television set. You're in like a studio apartment, you're in a small house, okay? Now you can just have a headset, you put it on your face, and you're in a completely different realm. It's really cool. Like I use virtual PC or desktop, okay? And I have this office I go into when I'm away from my office, okay? And it's really cool. So I think a lot of things for the VR motion sickness would get rid of that because you're not in that VR space. You're just looking at a giant television while you're still looking at the rest of your house, okay, through the pass-through. It's quite interesting. You can shut that off and just be in that realm, or you could just be in your living room, and then it projects this giant screen in the middle of your living room, which is phenomenal, okay? Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the MetaQuest teaming up with Xbox? And also, let me know what you think about MetaQuest making individual headsets for workout or for conference calls or for all this other different things. Do you think that's weird that they're kind of partitioning each of the headsets? Now, obviously, Meta is trying to branch out to get more people to buy it. They're like, well, I don't want to buy it for video games. Oh, but I'll buy it for exercise. I'll buy it for this. Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, please check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see. Guys are saying. Speaking of Game Pass and how, Orga says, speaking of Game Pass, how great having it is surprisingly to hear less people that play on Xbox talk about online and more so Sony guys talking or always bringing it up for completely nowhere to try. Let me read that again because I don't understand. So speaking of Game Pass and how great having it is, surprisingly, I hear less people that play on Xbox talk about it online and more of the Sony guys always bringing it up. Oh, you're saying that the people that like, well, because when people like something, they just like it, right? When people hate on something, that's what people bring up all the time, right? Eclipse says Phantom Fury comes out today. I've been keeping up with the game. While it's also kind of exciting, reminds me of Perfect Dark back in the day. L says, so basically a MetaQuest 3 with an Xbox logo probably going to be $700, just like the SpongeBob Xbox. No, I don't think they would do that. That would be absolutely like ridiculous. Considering you can get the MetaQuest 3 right now for, was it $400? $400 gets you the MetaQuest, the standard MetaQuest 3, if I'm not mistaken. And you can play Xbox on it. So if it was just dedicated to Xbox, just Xbox Game Pass, it was just a headset to play Game Pass, I don't think it would be the same price. And I definitely don't think it would be more. Plus, Xbox is not getting any sales off of that, right? I would assume that they're just marketing it to the gamers and Meta's taking all that for the price of it, and Game Pass makes the money off or Xbox makes the money off Game Pass. The HoloLens by Microsoft is the most practical VR headset and is used in the government. I mean, definitely a good idea to partner up with Meta, but I still think it's going to flop regardless. I don't think it'll flop, especially if it's limited edition, right? Like, if they only make 10,000, a million, I mean, what did PlayStation VR sell? 2 million copies? 2 million headsets? I mean, they wanted to sell a lot more, and that was a flop. So if they make a limited edition, and they're not putting all that money towards research and development to make a standalone headset, they're just partnering up with Meta and saying, hey, let's see how this goes. I don't think that would be a flop, considering they'll probably take pre-orders and find out how many they're interested in it. Eclipse says, yeah, it's a smart, good job in making yourself let someone else already made it. Yeah. Why go out and make it? Water says, I think it's a good move by Microsoft to make hardware, to make great hardware, and just hope that they can make an operating system as good as the advertising. Travis says, VR motion sickness is why I say, yeah, but you only get the VR motion sickness if you're doing a VR game. If you put the headset on with the pass-through, you're not going to get motion sickness because you can literally see the world that you're in. You wouldn't have motion sickness. You can just looking at the screen. Exactly. You're literally looking like I see my screens right now in the world that I'm in. If I put the headset on with the pass-throughs, you're seeing the world that you're in. It's just the screens in front of me. There's no screens. They're virtual screens. Does the Xbox headset require Xbox? No. It's a MetaQuest headset. You would just need to get Game Pass. Ron Slusher says, OnlyFans and Pornhub needs to partner up with MetaQuest. They don't need to partner up. They're already there. So it's just like any other MetaQuest headset, just Xbox cosmetic. No, so listen to what he said again here. We'll play Zuckerberg's video again. Okay, he's talking about specific headsets for certain aspects of industry. Okay.
Some updates on the metaverse today. We are releasing Meta Horizon OS, our operating system that powers Quest virtual and mixed reality headsets, and we are partnering with some of the best hardware companies out there to design new headsets that are optimized for all the different ways that people use this tech. But now we're also working with Lenovo, Asus ROG, Xbox, and more to build headsets that are going to be designed for specific use cases. So,
right, specific use cases. They're building headsets specifically for these next things that he's going to describe.
You can imagine a lightweight headset that pairs with your computer on your desk to provide the best work experience, whether you're at home or anywhere else you go. Or you can imagine one that's fully focused on watching immersive entertainment like movies.
Right. So you're only getting one that you use Excel and make a virtual desktop that you're actually playing. It's just a lighter weight one. It doesn't have all the other bells and whistles inside the headset. You're getting one that's just a Netflix one where you could just watch movies. Like you go to a movie theater. So instead of paying $400 for a headset, again, I'm speculating. I don't know how much they're going to make this, but they would charge like $150 or $200 for a headset instead of a $400 one where it does everything. It's just movies. You put the movie headset on to watch videos or movies, or you can get the Xbox one. Maybe it's cheaper than the actual Xbox itself.
And videos with the highest resolution OLED screens, or think of one that's fully optimized for gaming with support for all kinds of different peripherals and haptics. You can imagine one that's designed for exercise, that's extra light with sweat-wicking materials. Or maybe just a version that comes out of the box with Xbox controllers and a Game Pass so that you can immediately just start playing on a big screen anywhere you go. So our goal is...
Right, so they make specific headsets for specific niche markets, okay? Because, look, again, MetaQuest is trying to get it out there. They're experimenting here because they're trying to get more people to buy headsets. When people look at VR, they're like, oh, it's VR for video games and stuff like that. And what Zuckerberg's trying to show is, no, you can use these for everything. You can use this for business. You can use this for entertainment. You can use this for video games. You can use this specifically for Xbox if you want to.
Is to make it so that the open model defines the next generation of computing, again, with the metaverse, glasses, and headsets. So that's why we're releasing our operating system so that more companies can build different things on it.
So that's what he's doing. Right? And that, to me, is a smart business model, right? Because there's no difference on what PlayStation's doing, right? PlayStation knows their clientele. Their clientele, how do they sell more? Well, they're not expanding because there's a saturated market, so they keep selling to the same people, right? They sold the console, they sold the headset, they sold the portable device. Meta's like, well, wait a minute. People like our headsets, but they don't want to pay $400 or $500 for a headset. They want a headset where it's specifically used for this because it would be lighter. Or maybe they only use the headset for working out, but they don't want to spend $500 on a headset. They would rather pay $150, $200, right? That would be a broader market for them to open up and might get more people to come in. So you're saying we can buy a regular one right now and it does the same exact thing. Correct, but at a more expensive price. Do you understand, Kylo? They're trying to bring the cost down. Okay? Like, you wouldn't buy the one that's just for exercise, right? But if it doesn't do anything else but just the exercise stuff. If it was a limited, I'd buy it to resell it. I'm a dirty scalper. Then again, I change your vision. All this will always be your vision with a big screen, like wearing glasses. Correct, because you're seeing the pass-through. You wouldn't get nauseous. So the build quality changes per different use. Correct. So, like, again, for the workout, they would make, like he said, they would put like a sweat band absorbing type of stuff around the headset so your headset wouldn't just get drenched and then you hand it off to somebody else. It would have different material. What's going on, Mr. Luke? Did they show what they look like? I mean, they kind of did, but they're all prototypes right now. I'm actually wanted the SpongeBob Xbox, but people bought it and resell it. I'm just doing my duty to get back at them. Dolphin says, Mark can use one to box Elon virtual. Mark can use one to box Elon virtually. Oh, yeah, because they were supposed to fight, weren't they? Can't they sell different VR headset bands and lens instead? Yes, but you understand, like, the heads. You understand that the headset, this is a MetaQuest 2, right? The MetaQuest 3 is thinner than this. Okay? Lighter than this, thinner than this. So if you were just getting a workout one, it wouldn't have to be as thick, right? If you're getting a one that you're doing office stuff on, it wouldn't be as heavy and whatnot. It would be completely different build. I assume Xbox VR version is cheaper and plastically. Sure, if it keeps it down. That's a nice paperweight you got there, Mike. I use mine all the time. It's definitely not a paperweight. I literally got a stand for it. My son uses it. My wife uses it. We use it quite a bit. Yeah, my wife uses it to play Beat Saber. I play miniature golf in there all the time. I also play Xbox through it when I travel. Like, we're going on vacation in June and July. I'm taking that with me. I miss my Quest. Loaned it to my son, and the divorce. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's a game called Walkabout Golf, which is a miniature golf game. I play it, I would say, about twice a week. Twice a week. I just go in there and play a round of golf. Play a little bit of Beat Saber myself. Eclipse says, yeah, the AR stuff is the only thing that I'm interested in when it comes to VR. Like, I'm watching videos where your place becomes a zombie apocalypse and you got to shoot zombies. I think that's cool. I haven't done any of the AR stuff. I have the older one, so it's not colored pass through. It's black and white pass through. I figure I would pick up the next headset that comes out, right? Since I'm not buying the next Xbox that comes out, I would rather take that money and put it towards the upgraded MetaQuest. Yeah, there's times I play. So my son wants to play video games, and instead he wants me to hang out with him in the living room. So I'll grab the headset. I'll go sit on the couch, and I'll put the headset on and play with him. 'Cause I don't want to play. I don't want to play on my iPad. You know what I mean? I used to do that in the past before I got the headset. I would put the iPad in front of me, and I would get the Xbox controller and play. Didn't they just put out a Fallout 4 VR? I'd try that out. I would try that out for sure. It's been out for years. Well, see, I didn't have my headset for years. I've only had it for 7 months. Are they doing an update with Fallout 4? Or no update for that? I guess I can look it up. Let me see. Last time I updated it, it looks like April 27th of 2018. That would be exhausting. I play the Star Wars game in VR. It's exhausting. I can only play for about 40 minutes. No, the next gen update's the 25th. I understand that. I'm asking about the VR. I don't think they're updating the VR. Just let you know, if you want to get the stuff like that, I would definitely get it for PC because the modders have it a lot better for experience. Yeah, no, you have to get it for Steam. Eclipse, it's not on MetaQuest. It's not on MetaQuest. Appreciate that sub.
Country roads.
Hold on 1 second. Here's some footage of someone playing the VR. This is what channel is this? This is Eurogamer.
Oh, something I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Bomber, take me home. Yeah. Greetings, friends, and welcome to this week's episode of Ian's VR Corner, in which you find me standing in the post-apocalyptic wilderness of Fallout 4's Appalachia. Or is it Appalachia?
You ever notice that people, when they wear a headset, their view is always like cockeyed a little bit?
Who knows? Now, as you might have guessed, this week's episode of VR Corner has been inspired by the TV show Fallout. Yes, that's right. I'm jumping on that bandwagon while the SEO is hot.
Of course.
And inspired by fellow VR content creator Beardo Benjo, I thought I'd give.
Here, let's fast forward a little bit. I want to see some
gaps in it with his slender frame. I'm gonna have to go very careful. He'll slip through the cracks like a penny dropped on a boardwalk. Whoa! Careful, careful. Watch where you're putting your weird little spindly toddler legs. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's just jump these big bits. I mean, that's quite a view.
Did it not show your hands holding onto the weapon?
Post-apocalyptically brown, but I love seeing the distance.
That's a little weird. Your hand's not touching the weapon.
Mountains and stuff. Ooh, what is this? A little bit of environmental storytelling, I see. Oh, that's
I don't
cool.
know if this
so
doesn't.
I can just point at a container.
That's immersion breaking. Seeing the hand not holding the gun.
From it.
It's immersion breaking, especially in VR.
Yoink. Oh, so this guy beats off a dog with a crowbar.
It's a mod, though.
Process.
Oh, so it's not official support.
Rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace. People. Hello? Hello, it is I, Ian McLean. The terrifying toddler of the... Whoa! Oh, perhaps the survival...
Well, that worked out
difficulty
well
maybe-
for him. Yeah, I don't know if I could play this. If the gun's not attached to your hand, that's immersion breaking. It is. Unless he's using a shittier mod. I know some games they show the entire body, even if the VR has Bethesda tropes. Yeah. Well, they gotta keep it. They gotta keep it close. House. All right, let's go. Yeah, pass. Fallout on a 70+ inch TV is mirror immersive. I like Fallout, but if they can make the mod where you're holding onto the gun, I just don't want to see my hand in the frame and then the gun just kind of floating in front of it, right? That's completely immersion breaking. I don't know what happened to him. I think it looked like he just got shot and he died. All right, speaking of Fallout, let's go to Fallout. We had a little talk yesterday. If you guys like what I do here, I have conversations. We talk about news stories, have conversations with live chat. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, hit that membership button. It's as little as $5. Yesterday, we talked about the Fallout 5. I thought, look, I love the show. Enjoyed the show so much. Okay. Within episode 1, I was ready to jump back into Fallout 76, and we've put about another 40 hours into Fallout 76 since the show came out, 12 days ago? So I've been loving Fallout 76 again. I love the show. It's got its problems, but overall, I like the show. My biggest problem with the show is it's kind of weird what they've done. Now, I made a little short. I don't know if you've watched it, okay? But it stirred up a lot of controversy because of the binge model / weekly model. And I'm from the part of to get people hyped, you would want to put something out new. Now, obviously, because the show came out, people are going back to play Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout 1 and 2. Okay, the Fallout Tactics, Fallout New Vegas. All the numbers of Fallout are up. I think it's like 125,000 people are playing Fallout 4 right now. Actually, let me look up the Fallout 4 Steam charts right now. Right, so a lot of people are playing the game again, and that's not the problem. Right, the problem is that so 472,000 last peak, 24 hours, 124,000 people playing, 90,000 people playing. You got to remember, this game came out almost 10 years ago. Okay, almost 10 years ago, and you're getting these numbers again because of the TV show. Imagine if they actually came out with something new. Okay, now obviously Fallout 76 has a map update that's coming out, and that's smart, but you can't imagine they said, oh, you know what? Not a lot of people are playing Fallout 3 and 4 and Fallout 76 right now. We should make a television show, and that'll get people to come back to it. You would think they would have something in the works to drop during that time frame, but yet they did a whole one lump sum drop instead of weekly drop, and the DLC for Fallout 76 doesn't come out till June. The PTS is up now, showing the area, and then the story comes out in May, and you can mess with that stuff if you're on PC. Everybody else has to wait for it to come out. But even when it comes out, it's not like this newest thing. I don't think they made a TV show so they could market it towards just Fallout 76. You would think there would be some other game in the works. So yesterday we talked about, Obsidian's with Microsoft. Maybe they're making the next Fallout game under a hush-hush because Todd said that they're not making Fallout 5 for, they're making Elder Scrolls 6 before Fallout 5. So we're like a decade away from the next Fallout game. So it's a little weird. I'm not saying you have to have the game drop at the same year as the show, but you would think there would be something new coming out. So this article comes from Forbes, and it says Xbox badly needs a Fallout game before 2054's Fallout 5. Now, he's being funny because Elder Scrolls 6 right now is the next thing up. It probably comes out like 2027 to 2030, and then by the time they make Fallout 5, it's probably like 2034, 2035. We're like 10 years away from Fallout 5, right? So the Fallout is having a moment. Thanks in part to the excellent new TV series on Amazon, is also calling it the best live-action video game adaptation of all time. This is what sparked the resurgence of the interest of the last 4 games in the series, with Fallout 4 deeply discounted, rocketing up Steam's most played list of 160,000 concurrents. So there you go, as of last night. The game that also came out in 2015 was also doing 15% of it at that best for all of this. Now, this has raised the eyebrows of Microsoft, where, of course, they were also hoping for Fallout was going to be a success. And, of course, they also know that it's a valuable IP for them. But can they really afford to wait for Bethesda to finally get around to making Fallout 5? Can they not make some other Fallout game set in the world with one of the other dozen other talented developers of scope up, including one of the already made one of the most beloved installments in the series? Now, we're talking about the timeline before, but a 5+ years spent on Starfield was probably another 4 to 5 after the Elder Scrolls 6 to come out, and even Fallout 5 is reportedly Bethesda's next game after that, and we're looking at 7 to 10 years, realistically. Okay, you also have to, in your hands until then, the main source of Fallout content is likely to continue just to be from Fallout 76 updates, which is sure has grown into and is a good game and released in 2018, and it's hardly a new installment of Bethesda's tech, has never aged very well. Now, if they do some sort of update, maybe graphically bring up Fallout 76 and then constantly keep bringing content into Fallout 76, then cool. I mean, they did the pit. They did Atlantic City. They're doing the expansion of the map itself. They're adding more story. They brought in the NPCs of the raiders and everything else into the game. So they are updating it. They are doing stuff for the game. But I can't imagine that Microsoft's like, yeah, this is the flagship that it's gonna drag us through for the only Fallout game until Fallout 5 comes is Fallout 76. It just seems kind of weird. I continue here from the article. It says, the point is that Fallout is no longer under the sole discretion of Bethesda. While Microsoft may not go so far as take away Fallout 5 itself and give it to someone else, having someone make a separate Fallout game before then seems wise. And even in the past, in the post-New Vegas era, Bethesda rejected the idea of giving up any control over the IP. And we talked about this yesterday. It's like Obsidian's made New Vegas. You can make like New Vegas 2, right? Or Fallout New Vegas. You can buy up the guys that made Fallout London, right? Give them money. They can have that game come out, right? It's crazy to me that you have this huge franchise and nothing is happening in the pipeline. Now, maybe there is. Maybe they are working on it in the background that nobody knows, and maybe they come out next year or this year and tell you, hey, the next Fallout game's coming out, but it's not Fallout 5, okay? So Microsoft, of course, now owns Obsidian, and the studio has made Fallout New Vegas, which usually ranked up 1 to 2 games in the franchise, depending on who you ask. It also has a heavily influence on Amazon show, which is set to grow next season. Now, Obsidian's about to release Avowed this year, bearing any delays not exactly to their Elder Scrolls perhaps, but it's also set fantasy universe after the plans reportedly in return to make Outer Worlds 2 and the sequel in their own original sci-fi universe. Now, it may seem a bit corporate for Microsoft to demand that not to do that, to make Fallout game instead, as reportedly Microsoft mostly lets the studios just work on what they want. But if you want to often backfire, as also the Arcane Redfall, and also outside of Microsoft, we saw Rocksteady want to make Suicide Squad the game instead of another single-player superhero title. That's also been one of the biggest disasters in the industry. Yes, Rocksteady, not Warner Brothers, did actually pitch that. At a certain point, you have to exercise some measures of direct control over your IP, and keeping Fallout on the shelf until the middle of the next decade seems like an exceedingly poor idea. I agree with this, right? You have a huge IP, okay? That's like Disney buying Star Wars and then doing nothing with it. Like, nothing with it. They're like, no, that's good. We just spent $4 billion buying it from George Lucas. You might not like the movies that came out, but the fact that they still did something with it. EA signed a contract and made Star Wars games. They did something with it. You have this Fallout IP, and the last thing that came out was 2018 for Fallout 76, and then nothing else. A little strange, okay? Keeping a huge Bethesda sprawling timeline indefinitely, he says, I do think they're mainly internal with Starfield. That's also iffy detour, given how it ultimately played out. And now it published both Elder Scrolls and Fallout out of 5 years each. It may not have the Obsidian, but also many, many talented studios that also dip into the Fallout universe. This wouldn't have to be some sort of massive Fallout 5 scaled game, but something set in the universe that isn't mobile title or DLC for the next 6-year-old MMO. There's also some ways that you can figure this out. Honestly, they should have been working on some solution for this already. And I agree with that. Like, they knew, right? Like, someone approached them and said, hey, we would like to take your IP and make a television show. And they went, oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, we're not going to do anything with this this IP for 10 years. And they're like, well, we were thinking about coming out with the show next year. And they're like, oh, all right, well, maybe we'll do an update for Fallout 76. It seems just a little odd to me that the two biggest games right now for Fallout in the last 5 years, up until this show comes out, was Fallout Shelter and Fallout 76, right? Now, obviously, Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are beloved games from Bethesda, but at the same time, they're also 10 to 15 years old. And yes, we saw that study last week or 2 weeks ago that said people play on PC, they're playing 10-year-plus old games, and on console, they're playing 7.5-year-old plus games. So it's right up the alley. And I think Fallout, no matter what, just like the Witcher series, just like the Cyberpunk series, just like the Last of Us series, they all revive or rejuvenated those games in the past, where Witcher had more people playing Witcher 3 than originally when it came out, when the Witcher series came out, because that's the power of media, okay? If you play a game, all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a show, and you want to go watch the show. And if you all of a sudden didn't know about there was a game, and all of a sudden you saw a show, you're like, oh, wait, this is based on a game? And you're like, oh, I'm going to go check out that game, and then get that influx of things. I do think it's a poor decision of Microsoft's part, and again, maybe they have something in the works, but it seems a little odd to me that you would be okay licensing out a Fallout TV series, put Todd Howard and get the group together behind Bethesda to help them make this TV series, and they were really heavily involved with it to bring the aspects of the games in, and yet have nothing except Fallout 76 expansion come out and nothing more. Yes, they have the Fallout 4 update that was supposed to come out a year and a half ago, and they postponed it, probably because of the show. But to not have anything, right? You have so many studios, to not have any other Fallout game, expansion for Fallout 4, another expansion, right? I don't know. Anything is just I think they dropped the ball here as well. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Do you agree or disagree with Paul Tassi from Forbes that they should have something before 10 years from now? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like what I do here, please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And as always, if you like what I do, check out some of our other videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. I bit my lip as I was talking, and now I'm bleeding. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Well, it said most of them are playing 6-year-old games, right? Exactly, Water. People are even playing Fallout 1 and 2 as well. Random says new DLC for Fallout 4 would be happy with that, and Bethesda would be smart to sell that. That's what I'm saying, Random. Fallout 4 was a #1 sold game when they clicked the most popular one of the game store on Xbox. It's on Game Pass. New Vegas, I think, was the 3rd. 2035 is wild. It's just weird to me, man. Like, think about this. You could have season 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Fallout series before you have the next Fallout game. And that's if they make it every 2 years. And by the time it comes out, 10 years from now, meaning it was 6 years since Fallout 76, so that's 16 years. It's crazy. I say either remaster 1 and 2 or make New Vegas 2, because either the team is based in California would also be perfect for the show. Problem with that, though, Eclipse, is if they don't already have it in the works, you're not going to make a game fast enough to catch up to the show, right? And if you do, you're rushing it like you did Obsidian the first time when they made New Vegas. Because New Vegas was buggy as hell. Great game, great story, but it was buggy as hell because they rushed them. From that Microsoft leak, there was a Fallout 3 remaster on there. I would love a Fallout New Vegas brought up to the level of Fallout 4 with the mod support. New Vegas is a genius, but so damn ugly. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I think the remaster 1 or 2 would also be perfect, because they're also doing Wastelanders or working on anything now. I don't understand why the ghoul was in the status grave is also now got there. Can someone explain? I don't want to talk about the show because there's still people that didn't see the show, so you're doing spoilers now. Hence why I like weekly and not binge watching. They can take everything they did so far in Outer Worlds 2 and just pull the Fallout IP out of it. I would be okay with a Outer Worlds size game for Fallout for sure. Main reason why they're remastering Witcher 1 due to the show. What's going on, Mo? You're probably going to be another Fallout mobile game or Shelter 2. I mean, I guess, sure. That game's 10 years old. You can imagine that. As long as my Elder Scrolls 6 doesn't get delayed. Well, that's going to be at least another 5 years, right? At least another 5 years. They couldn't predict the success of the TV show, and it's just to say the hype doesn't last through the next season. Elder Scrolls 6 needs to continue. Sure, you never want to just bank everything on the television show, but at the same time, if you don't think your television show is going to be good, then why make the television show in the first place? You know what I mean? Unless you're doing a tax write-off. I mean, I'm not asking for the television show that is or isn't going to be good. But at the same time, you would think, okay, hey, Microsoft as a whole is like, we got a game, Fallout 76, and we have the show coming out next year. Should we make any kind of DLC for or something? Now, canonically, it doesn't make sense because Fallout 76 is 200 years before the actual show. So you're not going to bring those characters into the game. You can bring the cosmetics and stuff to, tip your hat to what's going on in the show. But you're not bringing out, like they did with the ghoul, the backpack, and the Squire stuff. Okay? Which is fine. Fallout Shelter is not factual stuff, so they put the characters into that game because it just makes sense. But you would think as a company, you'd be like, yeah, let's make something. Let's do something. Let's hype up the thing. Let's get something going with the video games, right? Just seems a little weird. It'd be a huge letdown if it doesn't remaster the DLC as well. But this is also regretting making Starfield right about now. Starfield should have been the new Elder Scrolls release. As much as you all think that Starfield is like failing in any way, shape, or form, Starfield did exactly what Starfield was supposed to do. It had well more than 10 million people play the game. We know 2 million people paid $100 plus for the 3 days early access for it. Okay? They made their money back. That game is a success. Now, in the public mindset, it might not be a success. It might be a letdown. But there's plenty of time. It's a single-player game. It's a single-player game. It did just fine for a single-player game. Let's see. Yeah, Random says, nah, Starfield's doing well. 280 plus players today and 5 million plus players this month. I think Starfield will surprise everyone. Todd's invested in Starfield at the moment. Yeah, Starfield is fine. How come you guys? What is the player? I can't look it up because it's not on Steam, right? What's the player count of people playing Spider-Man, the other single player game? that came out around the same time, right? Because a lot of people like to make the comparisons. One's a space game, one's a superhero game, right? They're both single-player games, right? They both sold, right? So let me get this straight. Spider-Man sold 7 million copies. Success. Best game in the world. It's super successful. Fallout sold 10 million copies, plus more people played it because of Game Pass and whatnot, but they sold 10 million copies. And that's a failure. What? I don't understand. Frosty says, right, we're approaching 1 year anniversary of Starfield and people still can't keep up the conversation, good or bad. Are we even, I don't even think we're at, would it come out in September? We're like 7 months in. 7 months into a single player game, everyone's like, the world's coming to an end. If they just made Skyrim with a new map quest with the Starfield graphics, it would be good for years. If it was for only for a single player game that is listed on the Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox tax have to take away 5 to 8 million copies, so it's actually sold 2 million. No, it actually sold 10 million copies, and I think it was like 20. I gotta look it up. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. They sold over 10 million copies. Starfield, let's see. Do. Can't find the number. I'm putting in the word wrong. I'm saying player count, but it's giving me the player count now. Total player count. Total. Starfield. Total individual they don't give that number. At least I can't find the number. If the marketing for Starfield was different, it would have gotten it would got better feedback. I had really changed my thought of it after launch. Sorry, looking at the trailer, I see slight downgrade, but not so much of Outlaws. Yeah, we saw the downgrade when they played that other trailer. And like 600,000 concurrent on Steam before the game even came out. That's 100% a pop before it even officially released. Yeah, we know that 1 million people bought it, or no, 2 million people bought it on PC at $100 a pop. L says, Mike, full Starfield defense mode. There's no defense. I'm literally reading actual facts, L. It's not defense. It's factual facts telling someone that it's not successful. It sold 10 million copies. 10 million copies sold is higher than 7 million copies sold. Spider-Man sold well. So did Starfield. They're both single-player games. If someone's going to bring up shit for one, you got to bring up both. You can't live in your own little bubble of reality here. Starfield needs a year or two of fixes, DLC mods, and a great foundation. I still have fun in it. just not fully baked yet. I agree. I said that when the game came out. I literally said, this game needs about another year and a half of bake time, and it would be fine. Kyle says, I had a good 80 hours in the Starfield, and I got my money's worth. I'm sure I get more when the Shattered Space comes out. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what Shattered Space is. People paid full price, $100 ahead of time for that Shattered Space. And yet, they don't have a DLC yet. But you paid for it 7 months ago. So hopefully it comes out soon. Weren't they pretty vocal about Spider-Man not selling enough? That's before it didn't sell enough. But it did sell enough, Crowded. People were really mad that Starfield wasn't on PlayStation because they were acting like Sea of Thieves is better than White Bread since it's being ported. Yeah, I have about 120 hours and still haven't beaten the game. I focus on the side quests. Yeah, I have 192 hours in the game. We beat the side quests and the main campaign. El Dede says, I'm good on leaving Starfield. Be dead. Wait till June about Starfield? Yeah, I think they'll announce it, and it'll probably come out, I would say, around the year mark. Bethesda is the Zack Snyder of games. I released a bad one, but I'll wait till it releases on the Howard cut. Travis says, sorry to say this, but the only question that matters is, did you have fun? And the answer is yes. Screw everyone who says it's bad, in my opinion. Shattered Space is $50. That's Destiny's prices. Shattered Space is $50? I thought it was $30 if you pre-ordered, Crowded. They're selling it just separate for $50? Is that true? Oh. It's $30. Is it not? Yeah, you literally can do an upgrade. You can literally do an upgrade on Steam. Okay, a Starfield Digital Premium Edition upgrade, which is $30. $34. Where are you getting the $50 from? No, I've never said it was $50. Quintar says, how to get over the thought of the mountains in the distance don't exist. They just focus on the current area. I was good. But they do have the mountains in the distance that you can get to. Like, you could literally, you place your marker. Here's the problem with Starfield. They had the tile, right? And the tile was the tile. But if you put your tile here, then it generates the whole area around here. But if you just moved it over a smidgen and then dropped it again, you could literally see the other tile that you were just in. But the problem is your zoom in. The map is fucking garbage, by the way. The garbage map inside of Starfield. When you zoomed in, it didn't zoom in far enough, so you couldn't tell how far over you were moving it. So just a smidgen over was like 3 tiles over instead of directly next to it. Argus says, Destiny DLC is less valuable, though. They don't come with much and seem as much more than they are because they are combined with the new season at the same time with its own items and content. The Fall of Avalon game looks interesting. Like Skyrim and Souls had a baby. Random says it's 15 euros here. Yeah, just for the DLC, it was like $30 if you got the premium. If you paid 70 for the regular game, if you paid 30 extra, you got $100 and you got the Shattered DLC and you got the 3-day, 5-day early access, whatever it was. And if you didn't even buy the game and you just got play on Game Pass, you could pay just the $30 and get the 5-day early access, which would give you the DLC, and you don't even own the game. So basically, Bethesda loaned Shattered Space money from gamers for 7 months plus. That's what all companies do, Titan. That's what Star Wars is doing right now. That's any game that shows you DLC, Season Pass, and you're paying the 3-day early access for that extra $30, $40, and you're waiting for the Season Pass to come out. Redfall. People paid $120, $125 for Redfall's DLC. Yet it's been a year. Where is the DLC? Where? When did Redfall release? May 2nd. We're approaching the 1-year mark. 1 year mark for Redfall. Where's the DLC people paid for ahead of time? I'm not mad about it. I'm mad that the industry's doing this. That you paid $120 for content. It's 1 year later and you still haven't gotten it yet. Yeah. Why are you pre-ordering DLC if you have to wait a year to get it? Why? You could have taken that $30, $40. You could have put it in some stocks, okay, and made your money back on the game. Star Wars Season Pass isn't really a Season Pass. It's just more of a day one content. No, Quintar. Just that mission is day one content for that Jabba mission. You're waiting for the Season Pass down the line still, which you don't know when that Season Pass comes out. I don't know yet, Water. It all depends on what other game I'm interested in when it comes out in August. I'm interested in the game. I'm not mad at the game. I'm mad at the structure business sense that Ubisoft has. I was going to watch you play it, probably. I was hyped for the game before the pricing. Yeah, I'm still hyped for the game. Well, if you get it now, I guarantee you, Titan, they'll raise the price individually. So they're going to make you pay for it. Like, if you get it all in one lump sum, Destiny did this with The Dark Below and House of Wolves when Destiny 1 came out. If you bought it when you bought Destiny 1 pre-ordered, you got the DLC, you paid $15 a piece. But if you bought them separately, it was $20 a piece. Nope, it's just a day one mission and cosmetics. Read the description. I had to. No, yeah. The only way that you get the extra mission for Jabba is by getting the early access of the 3-day early access and the Season Pass. If you pay the $110, you get the Jabba mission on day one. The Season Pass, okay, is at a later date where they put more planets, more missions, and more stuff in. The only thing you're getting on day one is that one Jabba mission if you pre-order the $110 version. Travis says, Destiny is shit. Should have done DLC like ESO does, where you buy the gold road and get all the previous DLC as well. Oh, that model wouldn't work for them because they removed content. Oh, they changed it? No, here, I'll show you. Okay, look. The Gold Edition. Okay, the Gold Edition gets you the base game pre-order bonus. Okay, the pre-order bonus, okay, is just the pack. The 3-day early access, okay, is just 3-day early access. The season pass, okay, Star Wars Outlaws season pass includes 2 DLCs that will release after launch. Keep exploring the world, Star Wars Outlaws, with all new stories, quests, and areas to discover. The Jabba's Gambit exclusive mission available at launch. It's just that one mission. Just that one mission. Jabba's in the game. Jabba's part of the game. Okay, the Syndicate's part of the game. This one mission, the Jabba Gambit exclusive mission available at launch if you get the pre-order season pass. Okay, and then you get the character pack. All the other information, the 2 DLCs that release after launch, is not this. This is a character pack, and this is one single mission that you get on day one when you purchase the $110. Right? That's what people were getting. This is why I made a separate video about this. Okay? And when I did it on GXG, right? They think you're retarded. Okay? They think you're retarded because they're like, no. Jabba's in the game. We know Jabba's in the game, but you're locking this one mission behind the $110 for the season pass, right? Because if I don't get the season pass on day one, I get it week 1, month 1, right? Sure, they release the season pass when I buy the season pass, but that one mission is behind $110. So whenever you buy the season pass, you unlock that Jabba mission on day 1 of the season pass. Meaning, you buy it that day. Whenever you buy the season pass, you'll get that Jabba mission. But you have to buy the season pass, which is $40 more, which comes with with all this, right? By the standard game, you don't get 3-day early access. Okay? Even though they just moved the release date from Tuesday to Friday and then sold you on Tuesday. All right, let me go. Let's bring up the headset one. I have another Fallout one here. Yeah, we have another one. We just did a video last week talking about, everyone's mad at Bethesda because they came out with their update, and which is screwing over the people that made a mod off of the game that they love, that are fans of the game, and now Bethesda's the bad guys. So now we're getting a response from the developers that are making Fallout London, which looks phenomenal, by the way. Okay, it sucks that they made a mod based off the game they love, and they're releasing the game update for Fallout 4, which is screwing over this. So we're going to read this in a second. You guys like what I do? I read stories and I have conversations with you. I give you my opinions. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you become a member as little as $5. All right, so Fallout London dev comments on Fallout 4's next-gen update, says that they felt blindsided. I mean, first of all, there was no communication between the two companies, right? Because one is a group of people making a mod of a game that they love, and the other one is a multi-million-dollar, maybe billion-dollar company. Actually, it is a billion-dollar company. It was $7.2 billion. It's a billion-dollar company making an IP that these people love to make. So the Fallout London mod developer voices teams feeling a bit being blindsided by Bethesda's announcement of Fallout 4's next-gen update. Now, mind you, again, if Microsoft and Bethesda, if anyone had a brain in that company, they would have made something, which they did. They moved the date of Fallout 4 that was supposed to come out last year, and they moved it to this year to coincide okay, with the Fallout TV series. So for Fallout London, okay, now again, I don't know. I haven't read the article yet. Maybe they thought about this. But I would assume that Fallout London knew about the television show coming out. And they were trying to finish their mod to coordinate with the release of the Fallout TV show. Because that would make sense. That would make 100% sense, right? Now, I'm assuming this group of people that made a mod of a bunch of fans of the Fallout series, if they could think of that, you would think that the multi-billion-dollar company also thought of that. So to feel like you're blindsided, I'm a little lost here for that, but let's read on. Okay. The project lead of Fallout London mod voiced the team's feelings of being blindsided by Bethesda's announcement of Fallout 4 Next Gen update. The project lead's comments shed light on the challenges faced by Fallout London developer team caused by the lack of clear communication with the Fallout 4 developers. Again, it would be nice if they communicated with them, but they don't have to in any way, shape, or form because they're not an actual company. These are developers that took their own time of the last 5 years, over 200 people to make this. Now, Fallout 4 is an open-world action RPG by Bethesda set in the post-apocalyptic United States, focusing on Soul Survivor journey in the Commonwealth. Now, on the other hand, Fallout London is an upcoming total conversion mod of Fallout 4, shifting the setting to the post-apocalyptic rendition of London 2237, introducing a new story with factions vying for control, while Fallout 4 in the official game of Bethesda, Fallout London, is a fan-made mod that alters the game's setting, story, gameplay mechanics, providing players with a fresh experience within the Fallout universe. Now, in a recent interview with the BBC, Dean Carter, project lead of the Fallout London mod, made a team of Team Fallon, voiced the studio's feelings about being blindsided by Bethesda's announcement in the huge Fallout 4 update set to release on April 25th. Now, Fallout London was scheduled to release on April 23rd, which is why Carter expressed frustration over the lack of communication from Bethesda regarding the timing of their update. He mentioned that in the sudden announcement caught the team off guard. Again, I don't know why you would be off guard about this. You knew there was a television show coming out. And you would assume that you would want to release something during that time frame. Hence, probably why they were releasing it. Now, I know St. George Day was on the April 23rd, which is today. Today would have been the day it released, okay? But at the same time, you can't be blindsided by something you were trying to get, traction with yourself, okay? So you mentioned that the sudden announcement caught the team off guard, especially considering the effort, dedication they've poured into the mod over the past 4 years. So that has to lack of better terms sort of screwed us over somewhat, Carter said. Okay, Carter also emphasized that Team Fallon's work is driven by the desire to create content for the fans, and the lack of communication with Bethesda has led to confusion and backlash within the community. Despite Carter's efforts to steer fans away from blaming Bethesda directly, the situation has created tension and raised questions about the industry collaboration transparency. The Fallout 4 London mod delayed caused by Fallout 4's update has not only impacted the development timeline, but also disappointed the fans eagerly awaiting the mod's release. Well, I'm sorry, if you're a fan of this and you were waiting, suck it up, Buttercup. I mean, these guys were just fans making a thing, and now you're upset because you're not getting your mod that these 200 people voluntarily did on themselves. Man, first world problems by these customers that are looking forward to this mod. Like, come on now. Right? Bethesda's upcoming Fallout 4 update will also bring fixes and enhancements for the next-gen console, including native support for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X performance, and quality modes, stability improvements, 60 frames per second gameplay, and increased resolution. The PC players will also benefit from the widescreen, ultra-wide support, Quest fixes, and Epic Games Store release, amongst other fixes. Well, it only took them 9 years to fix it, so that's good. So, as now, Team Fallon also now announced a new release date for Fallout London, so fans will also need to be patient. Carter's comments underscore the challenges faced by independent developers navigating the complexities of gaming industry ever-evolving landscape. Yeah, but the problem here is they're not even... Yes, it's a team, but it's a team of volunteers using an IP that they didn't have to pay licensing for or anything like that, right? And I understand the developers, and this is a big, it sucks for them. It doesn't suck for the people waiting for this mod that people created. This wasn't a AAA studio that created this. This is 200 people in their spare time that made this mod for Fallout, right? For Fallout 4 specifically. So again, I can't imagine though that the creators of this were like making this game and they're like, oh, you know what would be good? I heard there's a Fallout. This is years ago. They're like, I heard they were making a Fallout TV series. And then all of a sudden they came out last year and said when they were coming out, and they're like, you know what? We need to release then. We need to release then. Why? Because that would be the best time to release. There's a TV show coming out. You drop London, right? Even though it's not an official license of Bethesda, it would do gangbusters. It would sell like hotcakes. Okay, it would be downloaded like hotcakes because it would be so many people that would be interested because there's nothing new with Fallout. And this would be the newest Fallout thing ever. And then Bethesda comes along and says, "Oh no, we're gonna move our Fallout 4 update right after the show releases." Like, you can't be blindsided by this. You can't imagine a multi-billion-dollar company not taking advantage of the thing they're spending millions and billions of dollars on. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Where do you stand? Are you upset at Bethesda because Bethesda is doing Bethesda's things with their IP? Are you upset with the mod because it's not coming out and now you can't play the mod on time because, you know, you didn't do anything? You're just upset. All right, let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you like what I do here, please check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. I love how people are like, I'm upset. I can't play the mod that I didn't do anything about. So upset. I see $40 value of Outlaws just based off what I've seen so far is estimated time it will take to beat. Also, I know the fact that it's also worth the price tag for me, so I'm getting it. Correction has been speculated for months. Who cares? It's a mod. I mean, the developers care that made the mod. That's about it. Nobody else should get in get upset about it because they're the ones that worked on it. But you had to know going into it that you were releasing during the time frame the Fallout show was coming out. And they did it on purpose. I know this is why a specific know that you're outside the consumer norm of value determination, which is fine. Enjoy your game. I've enjoyed tons of overpriced or bad games myself. Sure. I said it for years now. If I enjoy a game, trumps anyone else, I play the games for myself, and no one else's, in my opinion, will also determine if I play it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this for the Fallout series. Right? It's awesome. You get to go around London and explore a brand new game. My favorite part about a Fallout game is the exploration part. Right? So a brand new world that I can jump into. It's too bad it's for PC only. And I know what I just said. People are going to be upset. They're going to be like, "Ah, you corporate shill." Like, I'm supposed to be able to take whatever I didn't pay for, right? Like, I'm supposed to be able to make a game based on someone's IP that they spent billions of dollars for, and I should just be able to do whatever I want with it. That's not how business works. Because if you were the person that created the IP and someone took your stuff to make money off of it, you would be upset. But because corporations are corporations, people are like, no, they're the bad guys. Like we're doing some sort of empire to rebel alliance type of thing. I mean, I love making money, Travis. Right? Businesses make money because of that realm. You know, capitalism, baby. Go make your own thing, though. You know what I mean? You can't be mad if a game. Don't get me wrong. Take a different franchise that wasn't being supported anymore, and then make the IP off of that. Kind of a different story, okay? But it's something that's still happening. You can't be mad at that. Own a license to play a game is way different than owning the IP. Right, but they don't own a license or the IP, Quintar, for the developers that are made the mod. They own nothing. They're literally just doing it because they're fans of the game and the IP. That's what I'm saying. They own the license and the IP. Bethesda's going to make money off of that. They're like, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Well, Travis, they probably made a better game than Bethesda, I'll be honest with you. I guarantee you the Fallout London mod will be in a better state, okay, than the actual game itself. The problem is they don't own the IP. If Bethesda really wanted to, or Microsoft, I should say, they could be like, sorry, you can't even make this game. They could put a cease and desist on them. See your earlier comment? Let me scroll back up. Blindsided because they assumed Bethesda was done patching the game. Yeah, but I don't know if they didn't say they were blindsided because of the patch. They said they were blindsided. Like, Jones, come on. If you made a game on an IP and that TV show was coming out, you would take advantage of that TV show, wouldn't you? So don't you think that the multi-billion-dollar company is also going to take advantage of that TV show? I didn't look last night, Travis, no. Well, I'm pretty sure that the company, let me look it up. I know they have a Patreon. They have a Patreon. Now, it's free to join. You can join their Patreon, join for free. But there's 3 tiers. $3 a month, $4.50 a month, and $8.50 a month. Now, I don't believe they share. Yeah, they have 658 members, but we don't know what the membership, how many of those people are paying. Do I want to launch a nuke this week? Yeah, sure. Why not? Sorry, I mean the one about GOG. I think you can download older patches of games. They might be able to release it. Oh, so they might be able to release the London mod on the older patch while they're fixing the newer one. That's interesting. All right, Travis, have a good one. A new Metro is coming just for VR, which is an amazing thing. I'm excited. I never played any of the Metro games. Never played any of those. That's Russian Fallout, isn't it? Fallout 4, Krebsy says, Fallout 4 getting an update wasn't met with, oh my god, this is a surprise. It was met with, we have been expecting this for months, and at least we have a date now. Right, but we knew it was coming. Right? We did a story on this channel and also on the podcast that we did like months and months and months ago about an update. Right? What they first announced the Fallout 4 update. Let's see. When did they announce it originally? Let's see here. Yeah, so you can't look it up because when you type in a certain search term, I could have sworn, I would have to look up on the GXG. I could have sworn they said it sometime over 8 months ago, 9 months ago. Yeah, it's Russian Fallout with a minor horror twist. Now and again. Nothing major more than like jump scares in some of the environments. The question is, how much will they break when the update drops? That's the reason they delayed Fallout London, House. That's the story we did last week. They didn't know what was going to break, so they indefinitely, delayed Fallout London mod because they didn't know how much was going to break because of it. They know it's going to break. Right? It's going to break its own game, and it's going to break their game. In the priorities of for a Steam game, just uncheck it. It always keeps up to date and pause the patches. I think this is only coming out of the mod for them is only on GOG, is it not? I don't know why I said priorities. Properties. Christ, I'm okay. I like glanced over. I'm okay. I don't think it was on Nexus because it was too big of a mod. It exceeded the Nexus mod. I could have sworn in the article we read last week, it was too big to be on Nexus, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that back up. Could have sworn they said it. I could be wrong, and maybe they shrunk it down. I could have sworn they said something along the lines of it was too big. Fallout London will not be available on console due to the large file size. The game currently sits at around 30 to 40 gigabytes. It makes it too big to launch on Nexus mods too. So it'll be distributed through GOG. And that was on April 15th. I don't know what to tell you. The Gamer reported Fallout London is too big for console release and it's too big for Nexus mods right now. So take it what you want with a grain of salt. I don't make up shit. I remember reading it. There's where I read it. It was literally in the article we read last week. That's what she said. Too big. Right. Giggity. Let's see. We're unable to do the mod console platform. Many of us know there's a surprise. Yeah. From Carter. Carter also confirms, this is from the article that we read last week. Carter also confirms that it's too big for Nexus mods, a site that already hosts thousands of huge creations for Bethesda games. Due to this, it will be launching through GOG, but will also be available to anyone who owns Fallout 4 on Steam and Epic Games Store. Fallout London is an ambitious fan project creating an entirely new game within Fallout 4. Right? So the director of the guy who's creating the actual game has said it's too big for Nexus. So maybe Nexus is putting it up there just for I don't know, get you hyped up for it. Yeah, I don't know. I only say what I've read. This is why I read the stories, give you my opinions on the things, and my brain is still sharp. I remember reading that last week. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, you can still download it from Epic and Steam, but you're only going to get it distributed through GOG when it comes out. All right. The next story we're going to talk about. Next story we're going to talk about is Embracer Group is splitting into separate companies. If you guys like what I do here, I cover news stories. We give you my opinions and thoughts. We have conversations with chat live. If you like this, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to go above and beyond it, become a member as little as $5. All right. So Embracer Group is splitting into separate companies. Embracer Group announced that its divisions into 3 standalone companies, each taking with a section of the company's vast video game portfolio. Now, I was trying this morning to go back and try to find the GXG episode we talked about this. I said, everyone's worried about Microsoft consolidating and buying everyone. I said, you should be worried about Embracer Group buying everybody because then they're going to start selling. Okay? Then from that, we knew about the $2 billion deal that didn't happen for them because of the oil bearer in Saudi Arabia. Okay, it was a private investor. Fell through, and since then, they started selling people off left and right, and now they're breaking up the company into 3 separate categories, supposedly. All right, so let's read the article. So in the latest step of restructuring, the initiative of Embracer Group has announced that it will be also splitting into 3 different companies. Embracer is a Sweden video game company media conglomerate that got its start in 2011 at a Nordic Gaming Licensing, taking over the intellectual properties of defunct publishers like JWOOD and THQ. In the years since, the company has also grown into a major presence in the video game space. Beginning in 2019, Embracer ramped up its acquisitions of video game developers and publishers, adding Saber Interactive, Gearbox Entertainment, Aspire, Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and more to its roster. However, just months after it purchased Square Enix Montreal in August of 2022, Embracer shut down several of the developers' mobile games, and shortly after, the studio itself. It was the first of many cut costs and debt reduction measures to Embracer, which also have continued to this day and resulting in layoffs, studios, sales, shutdowns, and project cancellations. Okay. Now Embracer has announced that it's continuing with the restructuring by splitting into 3 separate entities. Okay. Asmo Group, Coffee Stain, and Friends, Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends, and these are also the standalone publicly listed companies that also each will also be taking on with its part of Embracer's existing portfolio, though it hasn't been announced exactly where the IPs will be going. So, tabletop game publisher and distribution, that's what Asmodee is going to be in. Coffee Stain and Friends is indie and AA premium and free-to-play games on PC, console, and mobile. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends AAA game developers and publishers for PC and console include The Lord of the Rings and Tomb Raider. Now, the French company focused on board game, card game, and tabletops, was acquired by Embracer in 2021 and rebranded as Twin Sales Interactive in 2022 as an independent company separated from Embracer. Now, will continue publishing and distributing the tabletop games right before the acquisition of Embracer. The company also had announced that it's also beginning to license its board games IPs for digital development, and though currently unclear, this will also still be part of Asmodee's plan. Now, let me comment on this a little bit. The reason I think Embracer is splitting up into 3 categories, again, this is just my opinion, okay? This is just my thoughts, okay? It's one of these moments, is this gut feeling that I have. There's lots of big players out there. Now, if the tabletop publisher and distribution stuff of those board games was condensed into all this other stuff, it would be really hard to sell. Because if Microsoft or Sony or Take-Two wanted to pick these up, they'd be like, well, what are we going to do with these board game things? This is like toss-away things that they're paying money for value, and they're not going to get their value out of it, okay? But if Embracer separates these 3 into separate categories, one being the board game tabletop games, okay, and all the IPs that belong in there, that looks like a really nice purchase for Hasbro or for Wizards of the Coast, right? For another company that's just interested in that type of stuff that might come and pick them up and pull them away, okay? Where Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Take-Two might not like that type of stuff, so they separated it nicely for them to make 3 separate companies, so in my opinion, so they can sell it off. Now, the second one, Coffee Stain and Friends will continue to work on indie AA or AA paid and free-to-play games for multiple platforms, including mobile, through Coffee Stain Group has acquired, but also Embracer in 2018. It retained its independent status, and the company is primarily known for its space dwarf first-person shooter Deep Rock Galactic, zany action game Goat Simulator, and its sequel Goat Simulator 3, but it's also a multiple publishing and developing subsidiary. Okay? Now, this part is interesting because this could 100% go to Xbox. Lots of these games are already on Game Pass. Goat Simulator 1 and 3 are on there. Deep Rock Galactic is on there. This would fit Game Pass nicely. So I could see Microsoft picking these guys up and just fitting them right in. Valheim is part of this as well inside of the Coffee Stain, right? So there's lots of stuff that they could put and buy and automatically put in Game Pass, which most of these games are on Game Pass. So this would be a good pickup, in my opinion, if they are selling and they are making more acquisitions. Microsoft could pick the AA studios up. They're already implemented on Game Pass, and maybe they put them in there nicely. Now, Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends will be focusing on developing and publishing of the AAA games on both PC and console, and this will be taking over the Lord of the Rings Tomb Raider franchise, as well as other currently unnamed intellectual properties. Okay? Now, this one's a big one, because this could be going anywhere. You could put this out there where Sony might pick this up, Microsoft might pick this up, and Take-Two might pick this up. Now, the reason I think Coffee Stain and Friends gets picked up by Microsoft is because of that more of that mobile market, and Microsoft wants to get more of a mobile market hold on that market, so they could pick them up. And I see them buying. I don't really see Take-Two making a purchase for that. I don't really see Sony making a purchase for that. I think Coffee Stain and Friends is definitely going to get picked up by Microsoft. I do think that the tabletop game is going to get picked up by Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, or some other company that's in that space. This is why they're separating the three. This last one is up in the air. This last one's up in the air where Sony can make a purchase and they could pick up the Lord of the Rings Tomb Raider franchise. That would be huge for Sony. This would be huge for anyone to pick this up, okay? Obviously, this is more value if Microsoft picks it up. Tomb Raider was already there. Maybe they bring it back. Who knows, okay? Take-Two, though, is a big portion of here that could also pick this up, right? So this last section here of Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends, this is a toss-up. I don't know who's going to pick it up, but obviously, because it's the bigger names, it all depends on who wants to pick that up. And I think Take-Two is a bigger chunk here that could maybe pick this up. Or I lean more towards Microsoft again, and Microsoft could pick up this and this. But because they separate them, they make themselves opened up where maybe that if Coffee Stain and Friends, Middle-earth Enterprises, and all this was together, it'd be too big of a price tag for other buyers. They're only focusing on that one buyer, which would be a Microsoft and Apple and Amazon. But now that you separate the three, now more people can come in and start bidding on these separate entities inside this. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about Embracer Groups breaking these up into three separate categories? Do you think I'm onto something, why they broke it apart that way to lean towards these separate buyers, and Embracer's just out? They just want to be done with the video game industry. Let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you think this could go to? Do you like my picks? Do you not like my picks? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And if you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys... it's on Nexus right now. Nexus is missing out. Embracer, oh boy. Okay. They're screwed up now. I think it's smart because they only marketing to a certain type of markets. Coffee Stain and Friends. What a name. Yeah, right? Embracer. Sardi and Friends. Soul Reaver, please. I think the mobile genre has come a long way and played a Division beta on mobile. It's pretty solid. Big Mo says Sony ain't got money to buy to be buying folks. Well, they can, Mo. This is why they're separating it into separate categories. But I don't think they're going to buy the mobile market. They could make a bid for the Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends. Microsoft is already working with the Tomb Raider guys. Sure. Like I said, they could pick up both. They're definitely going to pick up Coffee Stain and Friends. Most of those games are already on Game Pass. They already paid them money to be on Game Pass. Definitely think it's appealing to buyers with those markets. Yeah, I just don't think that Microsoft or Sony or Take-Two was interested if the board game enterprises and stuff was included. There's just more stuff they don't need. Right? They would just close those down. So they're overpaying for stuff, and Embracer's like, you know what? We need to separate these three things. Let's see if we can get the board game companies to get interested in just this entities, and then we'll sell the AA, AAA, or I'm sorry, single A, double A, and then we'll sell the AAA. Now, I don't want consolidation, but what are you going to do? Right? Now, obviously, the AAA company, Amazon could pick them up. Amazon would love. Bezos would love another Lord of the Rings thing. Okay? Amazon's already working with Tomb Raider. Right? Amazon's already working with Lord of the Rings. So, Amazon could come in, pick up Middle-earth and Friends. That could be the purchase there. So that could be 100% see Microsoft picking up Middle-earth Enterprise. That would also give them the rights to the whole bunch of things from the past. Battle for Middle-earth, for example. Right. But remember, Amazon is doing the next Tomb Raider game with Crystal Dynamics. Okay. And they're also doing a Lord of the Rings MMO. So I can see Amazon coming in and swooping in and taking this Middle-earth Enterprises and Friends. Rings of Power Season 2. Yeah. Do they own Lord of the Rings Online? Because I could see them being huge for Microsoft. big established MMO. I don't know. Let's see who owns that. Let's see. Lord of the Rings Online. Published by Daybreak Game Company. Developer Standing Stone Games. Who's that publisher owned by? Daybreak Game Company is Sony Online Entertainment, or formerly known as Sony Online Entertainment. Partnered with Sony Computer Entertainment, Sony Picture Digital. So Sony Online Entertainment did own them. So no, it's completely separate. Oh, did they? Did they just get an update for that? Yeah, Daybreak. Let me see what they got. What's the last thing they worked on? The company was founded in December 1997. Online Entertainment, subsidiary of Sony Computer Entertainment, was also spun off an independent investor in February 2015, renamed Daybreak Game Company. On December 2020, Daybreak Game Company entered into an agreement to be acquired by Enden Global 7. Okay. So Endo Global 7. Okay. They are known for owning, maintaining, and creating additional content for games EverQuest, EverQuest 2, Matrix Online, PlanetSide, Star Wars Galaxies, Clone War Adventures, Free Realms, Vanguard, Sega of Heroes, DC Universe Online, PlanetSide 2. So they own a lot. Well, they did a lot. Now, Enad Global 7. They're from Stockholm, Sweden. Now, the Sweden video game company holding company based in Stockholm was also founded in Toadman Interactive in 2013. Working Hire Consulting Studio. The company also fully developing the games in 2017. Here, I'll bring this up on the screen for you guys so you can see. Also last year, starting in 2018, Toadman Interactive acquired other game companies, including developer games marketing agency. Okay, so they've turned into this. What are they working on? They're just in December 2017, Interactive announced former Enad Global 7 as a partner company. Rebranded Toadman Studios, sold out. Petrol. Okay. December 2020, purchased Daybreak Studios for $300 million. In August of 2021, they replaced him. I'm trying to see if they got picked up. Daybreak Game Company, former owner, second largest shareholder for the company. He was also named chairman of the company by August. As a result, in 2022, Russian invasion of Ukraine, Global announced that intended to invest, valued at $32 million, and plans to relocate key staff from the Russian office outside of the country. In September 2022, it announced that they'd sold Games Mobile ST for $21 million. So I don't even think, so the one company sold to this company, and that company sold to this company, and now this company is out. So who the hell owns what now? Because Daybreak was done in 2000. They got acquired to present, but now this company doesn't exist anymore. They closed down. So who owns the rights to Lord of the Rings then? Who owns... This is crazy. Publishing the game was transformed from Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment to Daybreak Company with the development and taking of the Standing Stone Games made with former Tuber staff. The game development continued in 2017. Order expansion was released, bringing back the main storyline. Yeah, but who's running it now? I'm so confused. Standing Stone Games, Middle Earth, Daybreak Game Company, but they helped make it, so they're still on there, but they don't exist anymore. Sandstone Games, trademark or registered trademark, Sandstone Games LLC, Lord of the Rings Shadow, Middle Earth Enterprises LLC. Middle Earth Enterprises. Okay, Middle Earth Enterprises, formerly known as Tolkien Enterprises, subsidiary of Embracer. There you go. We followed the paper trail. So, yes, Embracer owns Lord of the Rings Online. Yeah, I like that. We literally see what reading does, and now we all learned something today. Yeah, it's a long paper trail, right? But we found that Middle Earth Enterprises, which is part of Embracer Group. So there you go. In August 2022, Embracer Group announced that they entered into an agreement to purchase Middle Earth Enterprises. There you go. Now, I don't know if they still own... Could have Googled the rights of who owns Lord of the Rings? Sure. But then I wouldn't have known the history of everything else. So suck it, Krebsy. That makes me wonder, did Sony Online sell the rights to Star Wars Galaxies 2? Star Wars Galaxies doesn't have a license anymore. They actually have a independent mod community maintaining it. Yeah, maintaining that.
Hello, what have we here?
Appreciate the subscription. Microsoft already has a huge MMO for consoles, that ESO. I'm telling you, man. I said it a while back. I think Microsoft just keeps buying MMOs. Look at Amazon. Amazon's got 3-4 MMOs underneath their belt. Microsoft, I think, is going to do the exact same thing. Well, it's not going. It's not officially going, Stormkiller. Yeah, but there's a whole community. There's a whole community that does this, right? So this is if you want to know more information, this is called Star Wars Galaxies Legends, okay? Or swglegends.com, okay? Like right now, population, there's 800 people, and there's 5,694 uniques that pay. This is literally maintained and operated by fans. All right, so if you wanted to still go play it, they tell you how to get it so you can still play it, and the community is still very active. It's amazing. I follow them on Twitter. Yeah, City of Heroes got picked up officially. Yeah, got the rights to right support. Yeah, to staff it up. I always want to jump back in, but I'm like, I had this memory in my head about Star Wars Galaxies. It's my favorite MMO. I kind of want to just keep it there. I agree, Stormkiller. That is the best. No MMO from when that came out to now has done anywhere or close to what Star Wars Galaxies did. There's still mechanics that other games talk about, but they always talk about like Ash of Creations coming out. They're like, oh, we're doing this. The Dune MMO that's coming out, they're leaning more towards this as well, but no one's ever done it like they've done it. I love this game so much. But I think I just keep it buried. I was going to school 24/7, and I would make time to play Star Wars Galaxies. I was literally going to school 24/7. I would have classes in the middle of the night. 13 months, 24/7, when I went to college for tech school for movie industry to get me prepared to work in the industry. And I would make time and go to an internet cafe so I could play my Star Wars Galaxies. I balance school, girlfriend, and Star Wars Galaxies. Gotta get that fix. I loved it, man. It was such a good game. And when World of Warcraft came out, I was just like, I liked World of Warcraft, but it was kindergarten compared to Star Wars Galaxies. What's your thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws? I think the game itself looks fine. I'm excited for the game. I'm less excited for the game because of the pricing structure and what Ubisoft is doing. So for that game, I'll just, because it's a single player game, okay, I don't need to support it. Okay, I'll just wait for it to come out, wait for them to release all the stuff, and then I'll rent it. You know what I mean? So 30, you just didn't sleep. I mean, I slept many times in between classes because I didn't have time to go home. So you would go to school, you would have a 2-hour lecture, and then you would have a 4-hour lab. Okay, and sometimes that 4-hour lab was right after class. Sometimes it was 4 hours after class. Sometimes it was 8 hours after class. So while I wasn't in lecture, right? So I would have like I would have 6 classes, 2 hours, and then I would have 4-hour, little excerpts of editing or filmmaking or whatever. So I would sleep in between. So anytime I wasn't in school, I would take a nap, right? And then if I wasn't taking a nap, I would be in class. I would be in a, filming something, making background scenes, editing something. And then on the weekends, I would have no lectures, but I would have class. I would have to go back to the 4-hour, to do stuff. And when I wasn't doing that, I would have like 6 of them, right, over the weekend. So I would have 3 a day. So I would have 12 hours because they wanted to get us prepared for working in the industry because you would work 12, 14, 16, 18, 20-hour days. No, Roadkill. I'm not going to Blockbuster. I just get Ubisoft Plus for 1 month for $18. 6 months from now. Hey, look. I played Lord of the Rings online. Last time I played was July 25th, 2013. I played 41.3 hours. Last time I played it. 11 years ago. No, actually, there was an internet cafe, Krebsy, right in the same plaza as Full Sail. You would walk out because it was built. Full Sail was built in a shopping plaza. They took over the whole shopping plaza, and the one next over had a cafe, had an internet cafe. And when you weren't in school, you were in the cafe. You were in the internet cafe. Is GameFly still a thing? I believe it is. I believe it is. Yeah, GameFly is still a thing. What's the pricing structure? Yeah, GameFly is still a thing. That's how I have my copy of Mass Effect 2. I just kept it. We said that last year. I said, oh, Survivor's going to come out on Game Pass 1 year from now. So it's a year on May 2nd, right? When it released? No, April 28th. April 28th. So this week? This week you get Jedi Survivor? Ghost Fixer, are you in Alaska? You live in Alaska? You get a 30-day free trial with GameFly, and then it's $18. One disc plan, one game or movie out at a time for $17.95. 2 disc plan, Let's see. 2 discs plan is $25.95. Jesus. If you get the 4-disc plan, 4-disc plan is $39.95. If you get the 4-disc elite plan, is 4 games or movies out at a time for $46.95. Gee, what the fuck is doing? Like burning money. Division 2 tweaked. Division 2 tweeted out, and I guess there's an event running that lets you nuke things. Nuke things. New games on GameFly is a myth. All right, so let's see. April 2nd, April 23rd, Hollywood GE. It's like a small explosion. We've tripled everything in Hollywood global event. More explosion range, more radius, plus instant ammo, grenade drops already. I mean, this is low effort stuff here, let me tell you. This is low effort stuff. This is what they're gonna. I mean, I'm gonna play because I play once every 3 weeks. I don't think we're there yet. I think next week is is next week it. But like, this is how they're gonna get. Dude, there's explosions. Gotta come back. I gotta come back. I'm good. We'll come back, finish up the season, and then we'll put it down until the next season. Every 3 weeks is when we go back, so. We got some Marvel Rivals showing some gameplay of the characters. Oh my god! That's loud. Okay. Got some Loki gameplay here. Why can't we just have a... Can't we have a Marvel game? Why do I have to have a team-based shooter? Close Alpha begins May 10th. We're closing in. I do like the art style, man. The art style is really good. A little bit stiff, doesn't it? The way he's like... It's a little stiff. There's money in esports. Tell that to Overwatch that literally got rid of their whole esports division. Look at this. You can get the X-Men Xbox controller. Xbox sells more controllers than Xboxes. These are facts, by the way. Gotta collect them all. Now, see, that's marketing, right? That's marketing. The show is running right now, and Microsoft's like, let's sell some controllers, right? They have nothing to do with the fucking show. They're like, yeah, let's team up, right? Look at what Fortnite's doing. Fortnite has a Star Wars event coming up for May the 4th. Imagine that. How Epic is smart enough to come up with it, but Disney itself is not, right? They're like, oh no, we don't release any Star Wars games during May 4th. We're just going to team up with Fortnite. Oh, wow. They have... That's pretty cool. I mean... That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. Yeah, that console looked good. I mean, I know it's a wrap. Today, Coca-Cola and Microsoft announced to expand partnership, including $1.1 billion committed to Coca-Cola to the Microsoft Cloud and generative AI capabilities to help quench their thirst for innovative. Learn more. What? What? Coca-Cola. I'm not gonna talk about this now. We'll push this to tomorrow. Like what? Trying to see if there's any other quick news we could talk about. Coca-Cola should do a Nuka-Cola flavor. That would have been really smart of them, especially for the Fallout show. That would have been really smart. Oh, here you go. Got the PlayStation guitar. You got the Riffmaster for Xbox and PlayStation. With a foldable neck. Is it hard, Stormkiller? See, I don't remember. It's been a really long time. Both will work on Fortnite. I'm assuming that's why they brought him back out, right? This is old. This is a Build Your Own Pip-Boy 2000 Mark IV kit from 2018. Yeah, this is pretty cool. You build your own kit. Put your cell phone in there. Yeah, I respect mine as well, Jones, but they get a lot of stick drift and whatnot. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Got what day it was for a second. No other news. How's the No Rest for the Wicked game? Any of you guys playing it? These screenshots look good. This is from Warhammer 40K. Space Marines 2. I'm excited for this game, but I'm not. Oh, it's an early access? Oh, well, then it's not out yet. Then it's not out yet. These things look good, man. These screenshots. Is it going to look like this? It's good. I'll play it more when full releases. Only one chapter that you can play, and it kind of sucks, so I'm not going to waste my time. So did you... Okay. Did you pay... What's the price? $30? $40? And you get it at that price if you buy now? Maybe that same team behind is expected to have the same quality. It does. I gotcha. The actor who played Trevor in Grand Theft Auto 5 says he shot some stuff for DLC starting his character before it was canceled. Agent Trevor was one of the seamlessly abandoned expansion packs data mined last year. Interesting. Transformers Reactivate has a new community manager starting. Maybe we'll start hearing stuff about it then. It's pretty much a full game, $36, and will go up to $40. I don't think it should have been more than 40, but just in my opinion, the last Epoch was only 35. Well, here's my question, though, right? So you're paying for No Rest for the Wicked. You're paying $35, $36, but it's only one chapter right now. So how many chapters are in the game? So it's a half price game, right? It's a half price, technically, $70, right? It's a half price game, and yet you're only getting one chapter right now? That seems a little weird to me. If you have an old Rock Band controller, it'll work. It'll work on the Fortnite. The end game is pretty long, though. You can get it like 25 to 30 hours out of it, but just mostly end game stuff. For the first time playthrough for all the areas, including Crucible, we're seeing 15 to 25 hours. 15 to 25 hours right now for Chapter 1. How many chapters is there? 3? Grounded Full Yoked Edition right now is 40% off on Steam. It's in early access, that's why. Yeah, but isn't that a little much? Or just one chapter? I don't know. Like, Pal World is 35, and it's the entire game, and they just keep updating it. I just wish they released it when it was finished, because it's going to have endgame, 4-player co-op, and multiple chapters. Seawater, but I kind of, for instance, right? I get the appeal. I get the appeal for certain games. Like, I played Sea of Thieves, the early access beta, but I didn't pay for it, right? I was invited into that, and then played it for 2 years. Gave them feedback and whatnot. I paid $4 for Minecraft in early access, and they obviously kept adding on to it. I never paid, an upgrade for any of that, right? You got in early on, and you're paying. And now I get you're probably paying half price or maybe a $10 discount or whatnot. But I hate the fact, because you play that game, and by the time it comes out, you're kind of over it, right? You're kind of over it. The majority of the player base buys that game for $35. They play the shit out of it right now, and then they're waiting for updates of the official game launch when it comes out, and by that time, they're kind of done. No, we're talking about No Rest for the Wicked, Robert Jones. Same goes with the same type of business model of what Starfield and what Redfall and also now Star Wars Outlaws, right? You're buying the game up front, right? So you're paying $110, you're paying $100, you're paying $120 for this content, and yet you play the game and then you're kind of over it, and then the DLC comes down the, sometime later. I'd rather pay to play early access than pay the same amount to get it 3 days early. That's very true, Krebsy, but they're still the same, right? Because let's be honest, the 3-day early access, you'll be done with that game within that time frame. And where the game comes out 6 months ahead and you pay full price and you play it for 3 days straight, you're still over it. Do you know what I mean? I think the early access should be cheaper. Just like 7 days is to die. It's $25 right now, and it will go up to $45 at full release. Yeah, I just feel like it's just kind of weird. To me, there's no difference on what you're doing right now than what you're doing. It's a smaller price, but it's the same exactly as what Ubisoft is doing. You're paying $110, but you're not getting the full game, right? You're paying the $35, but you're not getting the full game. And again, I don't know No Rest for the Wicked. I thought the game was out. I thought the game was out. But it's another early access game. Oh, did you guys see this? Dolphin, what are you doing? You bought the tower, but did you buy this? Did you get the Destiny 2 Witch Queen? Savathun Witch Queen statue for $144? I mean, what are you even doing? $300. $300. Now you're going to have to buy that as well to put next to your tower. Oh, I know you guys are going to go back to Fall Guys. You're going back to Fall Guys. Look at this marketing. Z says, I would never buy something from a company called Numbskull. Well, that statue's that'll cover 300, or that'll cover 3 copies of Destiny. Unless there's a big Starfield news coming alongside the Shattered Space expansion. It's not often that the space exploration role-playing game was much fun to play. Do you think with the Shattered... Or I should say, let me put it this way. Do we think when they make news for Starfield that Starfield's only announcement is Shattered is the DLC? Or do you think they announce a multiplayer? Rumor, Jon Favreau is out at Star Wars. I'm more interested in the quality of life update. Have they been updating it every 6 weeks since it came out? They said last year that every 6 weeks in the new year they're going to be updating. Have they done any? I don't even know. Yes, for the most part. Okay. Oh, did you guys see the trailer yesterday for Deadpool? You guys watch it? I watched it after the stream yesterday. I liked it. Didn't love it. I thought it was interesting. I thought the first two Deadpools were fine. I think this one's cool. I'm interested in seeing it. I actually might go to the theater to watch it. As of right now, I might go to the theater to watch it. Only because I watched the other two in theaters. Games 30 frames per second without multiplayer. If Starfield gets multiplayer, they'll also need dedicated game like ESO and majority overhaul the game. Yeah, but they don't care. That's the difference. They don't care if it's 30. They do not care. Oh, I forgot, guys. I forgot to tell you. This will be the last thing I talk about. So I showed my son the new Transformers trailer. Okay. He's never watched any of the other Transformers shows, right? He's never seen the original Transformers movie yet. Okay. So I showed him, and I tried to be as neutral as possible. I was like, hey, bud. I was like, I want to show you the new Transformer trailer. He's like, okay. And he sat down, and he watched it. And he went, it looks okay. And I went, okay. I was like, let me show you what I grew up with. I was like, and let me know what you think about this trailer. He watched it and goes, that looks good. And I was like, why do you like that better? He's like, well, the art style looks a little outdated, he said. Used the word outdated. Okay. He goes, but it looks fun. He goes, and it looks action-packed. I went, okay. If you guys have never seen the original Transformers trailer compared to the new trailer, the new one looks like a, it looks like a Disney-fied Pixar film. The old movie, okay, when I watched it, I was 7 or 8 years old when I watched it. He's 9, okay? And There was no dialogue. It was just action, cut, 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 action, blowing up shit, all this other stuff. The new one's like, tells you the whole entire story, what's going on. Too many jump cuts? Yeah. No talking. Just action. He didn't like the art style. Or the, it looked dated. But he thought the old one was better looking. He was like, like, you should have saw his face. He was just like, okay. I was like, man. I was like, he's 9. And he looks at Transformers like he just doesn't give a shit. Did you hear who rumored to be in Deadpool 3? Anybody. Cavill, Radcliffe, whoever else they want to put in. Yeah, the kids don't notice stuff like that. They're just watching it as a kid. Like think about this. He watched the Garfield trailer and he wants to go to the theater and watch it. He watched the Transformer trailer and went, And I was like, man. You know something interesting is no one, not even the 90s cartoon or the new movies, has ever continued the plot from the original. No, the Netflix show, they did. Well, it was like the prequel, but the way the show ends is the start of the 80s show. The worst one in the Netflix series is the Kingdom one. Kingdom... I forget what it's called. There's a Netflix show. And there's 3 seasons, I believe. Season 1 and 2 are good. Season 3 is not as good. Still good. But it's the weakest one of the 3. And that leads right up to them crash landing on the planet for the movie, for the show in 1986 or 84 or 85, whatever it was. Different generation. They're trying to hook them to the old IPs. Yeah, but they don't care. They don't care. My son the other day, we went to what store did we go to? We went to Marshall's, right? My wife needed to get something, so we're walking around, and my son loves finding the suitcase section, right? Because he's like 58 pounds soaking wet. He takes the suitcases, right? And if you're a boy, you understand. If you're a guy, takes the suitcases and starts rolling them and jumping on top of them and rolling like through the hallways and stuff. No matter where we go, he sees a suitcase. He's like, "Can I?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." Okay. So we're waiting for mom to shop, and he's just playing with the suitcases at Marshall's, going in circles. People are watching and looking at him, going, "Oh, he's having fun." Yeah, he's just a kid. He's just having fun, right? I go, "All right, bud, come on, let's go." He starts walking next to me, and I'm just walking ahead, right? He's talking to me. He's like, "Man, I love wheels. Wheels are so awesome." And I was just like, "Yeah, they are," right? Like, that is the most wholesome thing, right? The kid is just amazed by wheels, okay? That is a boy. 100% just the simplicity of a wheel and how exciting you are that wheels are on something that you get to roll around on. That is the complete and utter meaning of life right there for that kid. He's like, "Man, I love wheels. Wheels are awesome." Now, that boy loves wheels on a suitcase, but then looks at Transformers cartoon and goes, "Eh." Like, what are we talking about? Transformers should be like the pinnacle for every boy on planet Earth. It's a robot that transforms into trucks, airplanes, okay, and has wheels. guns and lasers. It's amazing to me. Oh, that happens all the time, Krebsy. The not fun police. Yeah. Excuse me, son. Excuse me, son. Can you stop doing that? You can't do that. I'm like, okay, bud, stop. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Do it again. Walked away. Imagine if you can't capture kids with robots that transform with guns and swords. To look at the trailer and go, you failed. I'm sorry. You failed. My wife, we watched Rookie of the Year. You guys remember that movie, Rookie of the Year? My son loved it, right? He doesn't even like sports. He liked the movie. My wife looks at me and goes, because there's a scene of the kids running down, they're fixing a boat, they go to a baseball game, no parent supervision, right? And she goes, look at this. There's not a parent to be seen. I go, yeah, that's called the 80s and 90s. Now we have like this pussification of kids. First thing I thought of, Krebsy, was I was like, oh, it's like Marvel's Avengers, right? And then I found out that literally half of the Marvel's Avengers are the voices. I was like, oh boy. They made him too human. They made him too human because there's no humans in the show, right? So you have to make the robots look more human so you can feel related to them. I know it's not for me. I thought it was going to be for my son, and boy, was I wrong. So, all right, that's going to do it for me. We'll be back tonight. We'll probably play some more Fallout 76 tonight. Come on by as we bullshit and play. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. If there's something else I play, I'll change the schedule. If not, we'll be back tomorrow morning for more gaming news. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you very much. Make sure you check out some of our other videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.